Welcome back. Today, a raw, muddy footprint transforms into a permanent structure. The work begins below grade, where heavy machinery scrapes away the saturated topsoil to establish a stable base. This early earth-moving is critical. Building on loose mud guarantees shifting later. Once the pad is leveled, a roller compacts the dirt into a dense platform. The resulting density allows vertical trenches to be cut without the walls collapsing. Deep within these cuts, the initial plumbing lines are joined and secured with stainless steel clamps. Everything built above relies on the integrity of this buried network. Hours later, the frame rises rapidly. Laminated wooden beams are hoisted to the top plates and anchored with heavy structural screws. locking the individual walls into a single rigid box. These massive horizontal spans carry the roof load down to the foundation. When wood isn't enough, steel steps in. An oxy-fuel torch slices through a salvaged I-beam, preparing it to support the widest, clear spans of the structure. The steel guarantees the frame will not sag under immense weight. The skeleton is capped by securing the gable end trusses directly to the double top plates. This anchors the peak against shear wind forces. With the parallel cord trusses set, the exterior envelope takes shape using a coated sheathing system. The green panels integrate structural strength with a built-in water barrier. Taping the seams is the final step in establishing a weather-tight seal. Shingle-style overlapping ensures water sheds naturally downward, shielding the vulnerable framing from moisture. The building can now shed water. Openings are carved directly through the sheathing for precise window fitment. Before the glass goes in, the wooden sills are wrapped in stretchable flashing tape. This membrane prevents standing water from rotting the lower framing over time. Once the window is driven flush, the focus shifts to exterior utilities. A frost-proof wall hydrant is installed with a specific 4-degree downward tilt. This subtle angle relies on gravity to drain residual water from the barrel when the valve is closed. Without that slope, trapped water would freeze and burst the fitting during winter. Inside, the supply lines are routed using expansion pecs. The memory of the plastic shrinks back to its original diameter over the fitting, creating a permanent, leak-proof seal. Up on the roof, a flexible pivot boot is slipped over the PVC plumbing vent and nailed to the deck. The rubber collar accommodates the roof's steep pitch, sealing a notoriously vulnerable penetration point against rain. Down below, the wall cavities receive a thick application of closed-cell spray foam. This material expands aggressively to fill every microscopic draft point before hardening. Trimming the excess flush with the studs leaves a high R-value thermal break that deadens sound and blocks moisture. With the insulation cured, large drywall sheets are hoisted to the ceiling. Screwing these heavy panels directly into the rafters physically ties the structural bays together, stiffening the entire room. The exterior finish begins with meticulous brushwork around the window casings. A dark gray coating is rolled across the vertical siding, replacing the raw yellow surface with a protective shell. This paint layer does more than define the aesthetic. It serves as the primary defense against ultraviolet degradation and wind-driven rain. Inside, the drywall gets a fast, even coat of bright white from an airless sprayer, multiplying the ambient light in the space. The raw materials are finally disappearing. The outdoor living space demands high-precision joinery. A compact router and a sharp hand chisel are used to carve exact notches into the dense composite deck boards, allowing them to sit tight against the metal railing posts. This careful relief work prevents the synthetic boards from cracking under expansion stress. The railing system itself relies on tensioned horizontal cables rather than traditional wooden balusters. The thin wire maintains structural safety without obstructing the surrounding view. White trim boards are then fastened along the deck edge, hiding the structural joists and giving the perimeter a clean, finished line. By the next morning, the interior enters its final phase. A wood-look vinyl plank flooring is laid across the subfloor. Scoring the heavy wear layer with a utility knife allows the core to snap cleanly. The planks utilize a click-lock mechanism, creating a continuous floating surface that can expand and contract independently of the walls. In the shop space, a router generates a cloud of white dust as it shapes the edge of a custom vanity top. Scribing the heavy slab ensures it will match the slight imperfections of the drywall perfectly. The custom fit eliminates the need for thick, unsightly caulk lines. With the electrical devices wired and tested, the plumbing fixtures take their final positions. A wall-hung ceramic toilet bowl is aligned and pushed onto heavy steel mounting bolts hidden behind the tile. Suspending the fixture off the floor makes cleaning beneath it effortless, while concealing the water tank inside the framing. Careful beveling of the plastic waste pipes prevents the rubber gaskets from tearing during this blind installation. Nearby, precise PVC cuts connect the trap to the drain. The heavy stainless steel sink is then lowered into the cutout. The weight of the steel alone helps compress the mounting seal. In a temporary spray booth, a thick coat of white paint cures on an interior door. Before hanging it, stripped hinge holes are packed with wooden golf tees and chiseled flush, providing fresh, dense grain for the new screws to bite into. The final act requires 2 men to maneuver a massive, multi-panel black entry door into the frame. Peeling the blue masking tape reveals a sharp, flawless boundary. What started as a muddy footprint is now a highly insulated, precision-built living space. Structure, finish, and function operate flawlessly as one continuous system. The work stands ready,